Awesome. We're live. Yeah, put the mic in front of you. Couldn't hear you there.
All right, now we're live. All right, family, man. Hey, look, we're going to go ahead and start now. So if you could just make sure that I didn't know that we were muted when that you could like what we do and subscribe to our YouTube page. You know, this is live, so it's a great chance that as soon as we are ready to push that button, something's going to happen. And something happened today. Didn't know what it was, but we're back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library to talk about some of the things we've done last week, the things that we're working on right now, and a few things coming up in the future. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad, one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey. It was their idea. Now, I feel kind of different that we don't have all the music, but we done chopped off 15 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, so we're not going to we're not going to waste any. Yeah, we're not going to waste any time. Well, it's really not a waste to show off our intro video, but man,
we got to get the show started.
Right. So let's get into some introductions. Today I have on a white hat. I have my glasses by Optical and Twix in between. And let me check our audio. Okay, our audio. All right. Okay.
Our
audio. End. Yeah, our audio is well, because sometimes we'll start and there's always a button that unclicks itself. I don't know why it does that. It unclicks itself and mutes the whole podcast. So by the time we finish wrapping up and edit everything, it's like, where's the sound? All right. Hey, it's just us and a few others. I've got a peach shirt on. I've got my beads. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And we're doing this for the activist culture and the protest community. And often I'm asked, okay, when you guys say activist culture and protest community, what does that mean? Well, the protest community, that's all of us. It matters not if your thing is education, the environment. It could be jobs with justice, police brutality,
working at a soup kitchen.
Right. That could be anything. And the culture is, unfortunately, with movement work, it's a great chance we're going to be focused on things that aren't going right. So we have to find a way to step back, recalibrate, and get into some self-care so that we can get back the very next day or very next week. So the culture, what we do is focused on trauma-based things going on in the community. It could be the young girl that drowned was that in the lake or river?
Yeah, on the anniversary or on the inauguration, basically, because that was the 4th of Kimani actually getting her street.
Right. So in our work, and we talk about this in our guiding principles, that we practice self-care so that we can take a step back, because this work is labor intensive, it's heavy on the emotion, and if we're not conscious of that, we can have what we call compassion fatigue and unfortunately burn ourselves out. So that's who I am. And also I'm an active and registered member of the Nation of Islam. And maybe later in the show, this week's final call highlights the life of Mother Khadijah Farrakhan, the wife of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who transitioned and passed last week. This week's edition of the Final Call newspaper has a lot in there about her janazah, which is the Muslim funeral, and those who are in attendance, and how she impacted the lives of so many that they have no idea that she impacted their lives. So that's it with me, Jody, for my introduction. If you can introduce yourself, and then we can get into our mission statement.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth. Excuse the technical difficulties, but that is part of life and being real and all that stuff. I'm the treasurer of this wonderful organization that has been going on since 2014. Opening remarks for me, because we didn't get to say it earlier, for all of my Toledo 419 Mud Made natives, AB got robbed. I'm just gonna state that as I was watching the fight and everything like that, and out at work and stuff. So AB got robbed. That's bull. And moving on forward, my condolences goes out to the family of the young girl and guy who were found this over the weekend for July 4th. I haven't seen too much of the situation.
Yeah.
Yesterday was my day off from social media to try and recalibrate all that other good stuff. I got a whole bunch of stuff coming up. I also want to announce before I get into our mission statement and stuff like that, I am the six-time best storyteller and male spoken word artist in the country. I'm not going to leave links here, but if you go to my page, because that's just shameless plugging a little bit too much, but if you go to my page, you can vote for me in the National Spoken Word Awards in Chicago. This is the 10th annual, and it's crazy. I've been part of 6 of them. And other than that, I hope your July is well. Happy break to the heat dome, heat wave.
That's right.
Whatever that was. And the 2 days of the sun saying, hey, I'm going to rain. Nope. It was like, wow. But if you're here, I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope you got to go out and enjoy the 250th anniversary of this country. I celebrated my freedom a couple of weeks ago, with Juneteenth and stuff like that. But it was also the 9-year anniversary of me creating artwork.
Okay.
And bringing ink truth to life and all that good stuff. I'm also multitasking here since we didn't get our intro, so you get to see me sharing behind the scenes of stuff and touch my phone and everything like that. If you're going through a hard time, just because the last couple of months have been mental health awareness, either for everybody or for men, it does not mean it's not 365. So take some space for yourself, go out, hug a tree, get some exercise in, get some fresh air in you. It is very, very important. And I'll talk about that later, as I recently got AI bombed. And
Here
stuff
we go.
like that. Because I'm an artist, and as to quote the words of the great Erykah Badu, I am sensitive about my shit. So when I am featured on a flyer or when I am part of anything, just like I mentioned with the National Spoken Word Awards, that is credibility. I don't want to be looking uncanny valley or Black Mirror or odd out here, and I appreciate also the people that are trying to get in the crafts. I'm not shaming y'all or slamming y'all or anything, because we all know that if something is convenient and easy, we're going to try it. And in life, we have to try a lot of stuff, because it took me 30 years to actually find out I was really creative and not just crazy or weird or other stuff that people put labels on. So I would say continue doing what you do, but be very careful about the artists that you do involve in this, because we have a lot at stake. It's not just a flyer. It could be
true
career shaming for us, especially me, who half of my career outside of healthcare and activism and mental health is screw the system. So me being on the flyer, like, hey, I'm the system, is kind of
you are. You're getting 2 checks. That's right.
It's interesting though. But again, if you're a creative or you want to do something, just take that moment of pause and say, hey, do I know somebody that does this, and I can keep my dollars in my community and my credibility? Because as I've seen from a lot of artists, we gonna shame you.
All right.
It's no shade, but I've worked too hard on my pen and my talent and all that stuff. Anyway, how do you get to a point with an organization where you feel comfortable, where you can stay for a decade or more? We have a mission statement
and our guiding principles. And today, because we had kind of a late start, we're going to process our mission statement we'll take a short break, and then I'll come back with some stories from this week's edition of the Final Call, and maybe some other things that you see happening in the news, and then we'll turn it over to Jody for our community update.
That's so everybody. Again, if you're joining an organization, if you're trying to start a movement, if you're doing anything with any type of substance, this is our mission statement, crafted from everything that we've been through. We've added pieces, we've taken pieces, and we've made sure to curate it to our local community from going to global events. But we are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, a teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, provoked, attacked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, yes, most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice, yes, voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership, politics, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
All right. And you made a point about for us as Gene to do for us, and at the same time we talk about spending Black dollars and recycling Black dollars. But I'm going to say, all right. I hope y'all good with that. I'm going to go over here. All right. Okay. All right.
We all turning into mini politicians.
All right. Hey, listen, let's take a short break, and we're going to come back and process this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper and some community updates. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call digital edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. And what I'm doing right now, I'm trying to find a couple of, there's a couple of stories from this week's edition of the Final Call that I wanted to share Let's see if I can get this week's edition up on the screen. Let's see. Give me a couple seconds, family, here. Oh, where is it? I thought I had it.
Oh,
Okay, let's find it. Let's find it. Let's find it. Let's find it on the computer here. Nope, that's not the one I want. And once again, thank you for joining us. We're here every week, and a big shout out to the Mott Branch Library that every time we get here, they roll out the red, black, and green carpet. It could be Teresa, it could be Andrea, it could be Keith, it could be Olivia, all of the people that are here. Some that I mentioned, some that I haven't mentioned have played a big part in our partnership with the library.
Yeah.
And making sure that our room is reserved every week so that we can come here and talk about some of the things that are happening locally, nationally, and internationally that we think matter to us. All right. And time to time, we'll bring in one of our comrades in the community that may have something going on that we want everyone to know about. While I'm here, this is this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. Let's put it up on the screen here. And the title is the Mother of the Faithful, Nation of Islam First Lady, Khadijah Farrakhan. And we have this edition of the Final Call newspaper here. And if you're in the area, what time they close today? 8 o'clock? 8:30?
8:30.
Yeah, if you can get here before 8:30, we have complimentary issues of this week's Final Call newspaper. There's a couple of things that I want to share that happened on Friday, which was the janazah, and that's the funeral service for the Muslims and how we have our funeral service. And it said, this is from the Final Call newspaper, the janazah funeral service that was both solemn and triumphant was not simply a farewell to the beloved wife of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, but a celebration of the First Lady of the Nation of Islam, whose quiet strength, unwavering faith, and dedicated sacrifice helped to rebuild the work of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad while shaping generations of the believers around the world. I don't think that a lot of people know that in the early 70s, the Nation of Islam was very popular among from the 50s and 60s with Malcolm X. I think everyone had heard about Malcolm X, but with most all progressive Black organizations, something happens and somebody finds a way to destroy those organizations. And it not only happened to SNCC, CORE, the NAACP to some extent, but it also happened to the Nation of Islam, whereas there was a time between, I think, 1974, 1975, and 1980 that it was a wrap, almost like Blockbuster.
Black
I don't know.
Panthers and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember when Blockbuster, the video store.
Yeah, I remember.
Right, the video store and Family Video.
I remember 8-track tapes.
Right. So just imagine for all of us that grew up on renting videos and knowing something exists to it and not existing. Yep. So from 1975, and if my years are a little bit off, hey, just forgive me for that. It is what it is. To 1980, that was it. There was no Nation of Islam. There was no Muhammad Speaks newspaper or Final Call newspaper. There was no brothers with bow ties. No one talking Blackness the way it was talked about from 1930 to 1974, 1975. However, in the early 80s, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and Mother Khadijah Farrakhan brought it back. And she was the first secretary of the Nation of Islam, the first treasurer, When it came to creating the Final Call newspaper, she was one of the first to assist in editing. Matter of fact, there was one thing that was they let everyone know it was her fashion company that redesigned the FOI uniforms. That if you never seen the brothers in the FOI uniforms, the second phase of the Nation of Islam, Mother Khadijah Farrakhan definitely had a hand in that, and also had a hand in how the Sisters of the Nation of Islam dress. And lastly, it says that Mother Khadijah Farrakhan, her impact has reached Black women and wide, from social justice activist Tamika Mallory, whom we gave a Black Lives Matter award to, and we gave her the Black Key to the City.
Yep.
To photojournalist Monica Morgan and media personality Vicky Diller, all whom extended their love and condolences to the Farrakhan family and to the Nation of Islam. It says lastly that the Final Call newspaper spoke to several women and described Mother Khadijah as a woman of faith who submitted entirely to Allah, as a humble woman who never sought praise or recognition, someone who led by example and who always made those in her presence feel seen and loved. And do I have a Mother Khadijah Farrakhan story? Yeah, I guess I do. Every year, Jody, we have a farm in Michigan. It's in New Buffalo, Michigan, and the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and stays there. And every year, they will designate a time that all of the brothers and sisters, I guess maybe of the central region, we would just spend the whole day there and purchasing all of the things that that the farm grows. So I think that if you've ever had the bean pies, you probably had some of the navy beans that the farm grows in so much. And during that time, I don't get a chance to shop because I'm doing security. Mother Khadijah Farrakhan, she would ride by everyone in her golf cart and make sure that everybody's taken care of. And this was just last year. And I think you never know when the last time you're going to see somebody.
That is very true.
So, but much love and respect for her. And if you can, on NOI.org, you can replay the janazah where the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan gets a chance to speak and speaks to the whole nation regarding the hardest thing he ever had to do was to prepare those words. And they were married for 72 years. They met when they were 8 and 11. And I think they got married in their late teens, early 20s. And they've been, because he's 93. And they've been married for 72 years. So that's when they married at 21.
Yeah.
All right, Sister Yvette.
They were adults.
All right, Sister Yvette. All right, I don't know if she's going to sign on for 30. Well, would that be 30? Yeah, that'd be 35 more years, 37 more years. I hope she do. All right. And lastly, there was something that I wanted to process from, one of my Facebook friends. Give me a second. I'm going to find Tanazio's name. And he had a fire post today.
And while he's looking for that, as we were talking about, you never know, I want to give a rip to a friend of mine and the art community here in Toledo and surrounding area, Ian Welch. He passed this weekend, and, we all heard about it. We're heartbroken about it. And just wanted to make sure that while I do have platforms and stuff like that, I utilize them to the fullest potential to let all my other viewers or people that only hear me here know what's going on with me. Because I realize I have multiple hats and capes, even though I keep trying to put some up. But there are some people that only know me from being in the kitchen, or only know me from gardening, writing a book, or being on stage. And some of those lines never cross. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, that is true.
In whatever facet you know me in life, and I hope your day is going well.
All right. I'm going to process this right here from Tanazio's page. What's up, Tanazio? Thanks for sharing this post. I couldn't have said it better. And this is about our brother Nolan Wells. And this is a picture of all those who were with Nolan before he was found dead. And make sure you take a good look at the picture, because a lot of us have been Nolan at one point or another. And he posted, this is from Stacy Patton. And she said that Nolan Wells' death is all over my timeline. And as I'm reading it, I'll scroll it so you can look at it yourself. And I'll share it to my page too. All right. And once again, shout out to Tanazio for sharing this. She says that Nolan Wells' death is all over my timeline. I'm seeing mostly Black folks talking about it and saying this is a cautionary tale for why Black parents should side-eye these kinds of friendships where the child is the only Black child in white spaces. What looks like acceptance and belonging could end up as a trap. 4th of July, Mississippi and Island, water. A cluster of white boys, one Black boy is missing. Nobody bothered to report him missing. That combination of fact lands in the Black imagination with historical weight and triggers of our collective nervous system. Black people are not reacting in a vacuum. We carry a whole archive of similar stories. We know what water was meant, what water has meant. We know what being boys has covered. And we know what accident has sometime been asked to explain. We know that many Black deaths have become official shrugs because the living white witnesses were granted innocence before the Black dead youth was granted humanity. Now, that does not mean that we know what happened here, but it does mean we know why Black folk are suspicious. Family, there was a brother, one of our ministers, it went on a and this is public information, so you can check it out. One of our ministers in Grand Rapids went on a trip, like, you know, with your business in the office. They went on the trip. Everybody comes back except him. We had sought to investigate and prosecute, but with that boys will be boys in that good old boy system, sometimes it's hard to get justice. The only thing that you can do is push as hard as you can. And for my sons and every young Black boy, she had said something that really meant a lot. What looks like acceptance and belonging could end up being a trap. So it's not meant to say that all white boys where you have one Black kid there are going to do him harm. But family, we got to do better by the way we treat each other. We got to do better by the way we educate our children too. So
being aware of your surroundings and the people who surround you.
Yeah, man. And I grew up in a time when, I was Nolan. I was Nolan. I was an only Black guy in white spaces, and it's real. It's real. I think that I may have been fortunate enough that nothing happened to me, but that's not where you want to be. That's not where you want to be. That's not where you want to be. Call Jody, ask him to go with you. But that was a beautiful post, and it means a lot when you hear all of us getting it. All right, you don't have to be Muslim to get it. You don't have to be an activist or in politics or religion to get it. You don't. And I this point of time when everyone's sharing truth, you could do with it what you want. You know, you could do it with who you want. I don't know who Stacey Patton is, but that's fire. I don't know where she lives, but that's fire. All right. I don't know how she worships, how she loves, who her friends is. I don't know who she voted for president. I could care less, but this is the truth. So let's be a lot more cautious about where our children are. Be more cautious about where you are. All right, Jody, that's my rant. I'm going to take a short break, and we're going to come back with community updates.
Yep.
This is the CSRN podcast, a week in review. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
We are back. This is the CSRN podcast, a week in review. I guess I don't want to say this is rant day, but a lot of times we'll have someone come in and we'll interview them, what they're doing in the community. And we hardly get a chance to express anything. You know, our board in the back pretty much expresses everything that we feel about everything, but we want to take some time not only to give condolences to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan and the Farrakhan family, but also lift that picture and story of Nolan Wells and his death that everyone's sharing in their timeline. And that quote that Stacey Patton had said that Tanazio had reposted. She said that what looks like acceptance and belonging could end up being a trap. So I think I'm going to make that's going to be maybe one of my Facebook posts later on with a picture, and I'll give her credit for that. Hey, Jody, I want to get into our community updates, and then we'll get into 5 minutes of heat. So far, so good for our podcast. Started a little bit late, but I think that we've caught up. We were just buffering, but now we're up to speed. Hey, has there been some things in the news? I mean, in the news and events that you've been a part of or think a lot of us need to know?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, there were. Again, it was the 4th of July, so I'm probably going to miss a third or more than half of the events that actually did happen, but these are just a couple that have crossed my timeline. I was able to see or even able to attend because we did have what was but was not a storm Friday night, which took out a lot of power on Friday. And, you know, I was able to have a my first Friday off since like May, to where I could attend some things. So I got out and saw some stuff. But for going back to that, I want to give a shout out to Boom Click and everybody involved in the Drop movie. If you might have seen it at the Mommy Theater, I was able to again be off and saw some of it. I love Chuck's creative style. I've known them since before people have known me. When I was just at Power 109.9 Flip and Flex Radio with Castoff. Shout out to Prophet and Tiffany and everybody on my old original podcast and stuff like that before we had cameras and we were dealing with Frank in the back and all kinds of stuff.
That's
The Angry
crazy.
Black Woman Show with Tiffany. But yeah, shout out to them as I've watched Chuck grow over videography and stuff. I was looking at the movie and it was like immediately, that's his version of filming. It was very distinct and cut out. It had us 80s babies in there in various bits and stuff. So I hope everybody gets a chance. I believe they were talking about putting it on the streaming services. So when it does get to there, I hope y'all cash mob that. And well, you can't cash mob it, but y'all go watch it and stuff like that. So shout out to Boom Click. Shout out to the Code for showing it because that's where I was able to see most of it at and everything out and chill with them because I don't get to do that much because I'm in the kitchen all the time. But shout out to everybody there. Going back to some other events, it's for everybody that got to be at the Stars and Stripes Market with live music and Chris Slayer and all of that in downtown Toledo on the water. But I also want to give a very special shout out to Shalise and Armand. I believe it's Armand. Yeah, Blakely, as they are now a new wedding couple. I remember maybe 6 months ago, a year ago or so, I was invited and again, work and all that stuff. My invite probably got lost or the reminder, but they had their wedding and then they got on stage to celebrate. So shout out to them and becoming a new couple.
Oh, they got married at the show.
Yeah.
I mean, or whatever it was, engaged or
married and stuff like that.
Oh,
so
wow, okay.
That is amazing. And have your 4th of July as a wedding date. Okay. So you'll never forget it. Don't ever forget your anniversary.
You bet not. All right.
Like, what you celebrating today, babe? That had the right answer.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you got the double answer because is it your, it can't be your, never mind. I'm not even going to go there. We're going to lose people. But Juneteenth was ours. Either way, if you got a little melanin in you. But also, again, as I reiterated at the beginning of the show, shout out to me, which I really don't do enough, and a lot of people do, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. I'm talking to y'all, but I enjoy it because, I live in a space where I'm creating. I don't see the inspiration that the world gets from the versions of me that they need. So when people do tell me like, oh, you're awesome and all this stuff, I'm like, I got like 4 phone calls in my head, and I got to remember this next week, which isn't public, but I believe the next session will. I'm actually doing my first writing workshop, paid full commission.
Okay.
Brother Washington over here helped me out with the invoice and all the legal stuff. So shout out to him. So I'll be teaching or doing a writing and poetry class at the Park Apartments in Toledo, 2 special dates. And with NAMI and some other stuff, but it's a private thing, so I can't post it on my page, but I can talk to you in person about it or on today's show. I also got something else going on in the community, part with UT, and I'm just waiting on the final details for that, but that's where my life is moving towards now. So being 9 years of taking my little doodle,
that's right,
people were calling it, my little guy that they didn't think was finished, and putting him all over the world, putting him in stickers, putting him in books, having him become a real boy as the illustrator of Childhood Trauma Series, which, it may not mean a lot to other people, but when you look in Congress for books, and it might get banned one day, you're going to see his name. And he's literally the person that's in the artwork that's followed it. And I haven't done nothing since a butterfly, but I have done other stuff. I've done Chalk the Walk, which is going to be August 20th. And I'll be back there doing my 3rd tree for that event and stuff like that. I've gone to Japan. I've gone to Paris and put stickers up and put artwork up and given people artwork in Canada and all over the country, New York and stuff like that. But it wouldn't have happened had I not spent that 4th of July in 2007. And instead of going out and kicking it and partying and stuff like that, I locked myself in my room, took a blue pen, a black pen, and a mechanical pencil and started drawing. Also, thanks to Darius Simpson, who is the originator of that illustration, which I have. I want to say it's like a 12-foot by 4-foot poster board or whatever that he did when I was first creating. I did a thing in the amphitheater. It was like 2015, and that's where I had met him again because he says we met when I actually used to have dread or braids and stuff. Long story, but when I was younger, so he made a artwork of that, and I asked him for his permission. Could I take this because everybody I was asking for my book covers and for my illustrations in my books kept giving me AI generated CGI CAD drawings, nothing that actually had a soul.
All
If
right.
my artwork and books and poems and performances have soul and pain and life in it, I needed that to reflect in what I drew. So this is 9 years of doing that and drawing trees across America and the globe and painting people, painting murals, doing stuff that I never thought I could do. Even with poetry and professionalism, I never thought I could do that. This wasn't something like, oh, I'm going to go to art school and be
Right.
awesome. No, I just did it and I liked it. It was mine. It still is mine. But yeah, so long rant on that. But also shout out to there was the fireworks at Jamaican Space. After I got off of work, I tried to roll over there. It was a little too packed, but shout out to everybody over there that did that at Jamaican Spice. I'm just going to run off a couple names from the flyers because I basically know all of y'all because of all these years. So She Speaks, Low Key, Shayla Chanel, Cassie J, Weird Science, G Elise, and it was hosted by, of course, Van Gogh and Tempest, Roz Accurate, music by, I can't make that any smaller, but DJ Mo, and I can't see the other person, but Eloquent, Sean Diesel. It was a whole bunch of people at this. So I hope y'all had fun. Hopefully you all had a sellout event and anything else that I might have missed. I know we had the Stop the Violence tour.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't Stop the Violence, but it was the Stop the Violence event. And that was over at the Metro Park. They had the mayor come out. Again, couldn't make it. I was at work. But everything looked great. Shout out to T Diamond on that, as he was one of the DJs for that. And yeah, it doesn't have an event, but it was flyers everywhere. If you were able to attend, good on you. And now moving forward into some of the stuff that's upcoming, I'm also going to go to my page because I'm going to start utilizing my phone since people, are already in common with this. This is why I have my phone in my head. I'm not responding to messages or cussing people out. But so upcoming events for this week that I do see on my flyer list is, until we come back, this Saturday at 6 p.m., there is the Second Salon Saturday, American Muslims for Palestine. That's going to be at 2357 Scottwood Avenue in Toledo, Ohio. It's at 6 p.m. I probably won't be able to make it because I work at 3. But if Brother Washington can make it or somebody else that
we'll report back.
They will report back. Tuesday, July 14th, there is the TLR 1-year open mic at Handmade Toledo. That is another.
Right downtown on Adams.
Right downtown on Adams, which means it's time for me to show up at least one more time. Gotta get Brother Washington sick again now. Because that was the only time I was able to show up. But I try and show up to as much as possible. I'm not the poet laureate, but even though that is closed, hopefully you did vote for Kay Renee in Toledo, Ohio for poet laureate. She does a great job. But I will be at one tonight, which I normally don't do, but I try and show up if it's not in my schedule at least once a year to bless the mic, encourage people, stuff like that. Other events coming up tomorrow at 6 p.m. We have the Hold the Vision, which I believe I will be making. Yep. Hold the Vision workshop. And this is going to be at Mind and Soul Gallery, formerly the East Toledo studio that was on the east side.
Yeah.
All that stuff. But shout out to Chris Rodriguez and Contron and everybody involved over there. That is going to be 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. The address is 500 Madison Avenue. There are tickets for it. I haven't clicked the link, so I'll be finding that out tonight. They had their grand opening. They had their open house, and hopefully I'll be able to make this one at 6 p.m. tomorrow. Friday, July 10th, there is Why You Should Vote video podcast. This goes back to the National Spoken Word Awards. Some people I know. So that is going to be online, Facebook Live with nominees and reasons why you should vote for the 10th annual Grammys of Spoken Word. This Saturday at 11 a.m., there is the pop-up Loves TLC Inc. This is another friend of mine, Vanessa Avery. She's got an event going on. Hopefully, I'll be able to make it. It is another virtual event. This Saturday at 1 p.m. is the sold out 125 years in the making conversation with TMA's director. Shout out to Adam Levine. Not that one.
Also, man, I'm gonna show up. Oh, that okay, all right. It's just the art guy.
I know when I worked there, that was the thing that everybody, and now I can say it because I don't work there no more, but everybody was like, yeah, that's the only joke he has. And I did show up to one of the meetings prior to us closing, and he didn't use that joke, but I'm going to use it. So that is from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. at the Toledo Museum of Art. I'm guessing it's going to be in the Glass Pavilion, but tickets are sold out, so you probably already have the details if you know. This Saturday at 6 p.m. is Uncloistered Poetry, July 11th. Shout out to Joni McKentry. And unfortunately, I can't make those open mics anymore either, but it has been wonderful being able to be there throughout the years, to be featured throughout the years, to see all the amazing culture and poetry that I wouldn't see at other venues throughout the years. That is going to be at the Attic from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. There is no cost for that, but you can put money in the bucket for all the people that do come to travel. Then we have Pella Felton, James Hamilton, and Carrie Troutman, who's going to be the features for this event. Moving forward at 6 p.m. this Saturday, we have Toledo Night Market, hosted at Toledo's Farmers Market. That is from 6 p.m. until 10:30 p.m. Shout out to all the vendors in Toledo and everybody that would be able to make that event. It's I don't know if I've ever been part of one of those, but lots of creative, lots of people who make stuff that's not AI generated. I'm just going to keep going on about that. But lots of people that make stuff, support them, support your community, keep the dollars in your community. Don't give it to some strange billionaire collecting your data. Moving forward, this Saturday at 7 p.m., there is the Sip and Paint with David Ross, or Gutter Dave, as we affectionately know him in the community. That is going to be at Toll House at 7 p.m. No experience required. Come, show up, bring paper, pad, pencil, notebook, anything like that, and be a part of an awesome experience. That is, again, I Gutter Dave, no cost. Supplies will be available. Just be prepared to tip the bartenders, as he's put in the comments. This Sunday at 4 p.m., a beauty unbinding live arts and entertainment. This is going to be at the Portal for Toledo School for the Arts, and a whole list of amazing artists that I've gotten to know throughout the year. Your host is Chanel India, or as she is known in the circuit. I'm going to the flyer right now. But there is going to be live performance, culture, arts, diverse creativity, free raffle drawing, complimentary food and beverage, of course, live music and everything like that. Tickets are $40 if they're not sold out. You can go to the www.goher.club and get them tickets right there. Check on here real quick just to give you a list of some of the artists. It's Shayla India from generations of her community. They have special guests. I know one of them was Kayla Renee. We have Lexi Lane, who's also hosting. And just one moment, and I will give you some of the artists if I can find it on the page. Going to find the artist on the page. I know there's been flyers and everything up for it for a bit, but social media, it always helps for stuff. So
true.
There are a lot of artists and everything. This Monday, before we come back on air, July 20th, is the Film Toledo grand opening and open house. If you don't know what Film Toledo, that is the people that brought Sons of Toledo here, and the movie Eeny Meeny, where we shot at Hollywood Casino, and a whole bunch of other stuff that helped raise the cost for filmmakers, the deductibles and all that stuff. So Hollywood movies can come here. Those are the people you want to talk to. So that is going to be at 500 Madison Avenue, suite 201. And it is at 10 a.m. So I hope to see you all there. I will definitely be making exceptions in my sleep schedule to be there, as I've missed the last two quarterly film festival things where we just meet and gather people. So if you're looking to get into acting, we have a lot of resources, and you can talk to people, meet directors, meet actors, meet AB, grip people, all that good stuff at the event and open house. And wait, hold on. I got to go to my page now. Since we do have a little extra time and no guests today, I'm going to try and get out as much as I can since I have been off for a day. So a couple of other things going on. Sunday, July 12th, 7 to 10 is the Stroke and Sip event. This is Sunkiss. This is going to be a event by Respect the Mic. It's going to be at the Blarney Event Center. The last event she had there, Brother Washington was there for the Hair and Lock show. And we have on the docket for people, we got Finesse and Black, One Single Rose, Marquise Williams, and Fun with Fran. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of other stuff, raffles and things going on. There's a open mic available as well. The show is only $15. So if you're able to make it, it's $15. If you want to paint and poetry, it's $30. A table of 6, which includes bottles of wine, table, paint, supplies for 6 people, is $160. So that is this Sunday coming up. So make sure, if you haven't got your ticket, go get your ticket. She throws awesome events. Other things going on, I have a few that I have not posted, is the Chat and Chew. If you know anything about Unbound Artistry and Audrey Johnson, we are having every 2 months we have something where artists and creatives can get together. This is a Chat and Chew. It's going get the thing, RSVP by July 9th, and you can text Chat and Chew to 419-764-7341. It is going to be from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. Early bird entry is at 11 a.m. and it's going to be at the eBid Center. That is 1806 Madison Avenue, 43604, Toledo, Ohio. It's going to be hosted by Ronnie Brazil.
Yep, that's correct.
Yep. So last time I went, that's where that one tree and stuff came out and all that good stuff. But also coming up July 17th, and I know we'll be back to talk about it, but I just like plugging my friends so much. We have the Poetry on the Patio, Poetry Night, raw, uncut, unfiltered. This is going to be at the Code at 827 Star Avenue. Code I was just talking about from them doing the drop there. It is only $5, and that is not a paint and sip, so that is why it is a little bit cheaper. But shout out to Sunkiss again, who's also helping with the flyer that I'm a part of. And then moving forward, because I don't see any other events except one that I will be attending for at least one time tonight, is the Unplugged Soul Sessions at Toll House. The feature today is going to be Kayla Renee, and it just started. It's from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. And we have karaoke, open mics, R&B vibes only. It's hosted by Juwan, I believe that's Juwan Thomas, Gallon and Taxes, Boysenhoff and Schaefer. Well, there's no Schaefer on there. No. Anyway, I think it's just Gallon and Taxes, Boysenhoff.
Yeah, it is.
I remember the commercials and stuff growing up. But and DJ Big Boom is going to be the DJ for the night. Live music, open mic, karaoke, good food, good drinks, good people. So I will see you there tonight after we go off air.
All right, let me plug a couple of things, and then are you ready to come back for 5 minutes of heat?
Yes, I am, and also shout out to 1983, the band.
Okay, all right. You know the Toledo Urban Festival.
Thank you.
I got your back today. They've got a list of things. We're going to run them down to you on July 13th. What day is that?
That is this weekend.
All right. There's a prayer in the parking lot. That's going to be 5 p.m. I might make it to that just to see what's happening. They're going to have a location
Well,
rename.
that's just coming up Monday. So
All right.
I'll make it to that too.
They're going to have a renaming, Door Street location renaming. I don't know what they're going to name it. Is it going to be Toledo Urban or Toledo Urban Federal Credit Union? We'll find out there. They got a driver license reinstatement clinic. The prayer breakfast, we were a part of that a couple of years ago when you were one of the honorees.
Yep. Honoree, Grand Marshal, and performer, and vending.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. All right. The prayer breakfast, that's going to be at Indiana Avenue Baptist Church, 8 a.m. to 10. I might fall through for that, get something to eat. The community day is going to be on the 17th from 12 to 4 at the credit union right there on the one on Monroe. So go to the one on Monroe. The parade is going to be the 18th. I'm going to ride my bike through there.
I will be in the parade.
And that's going to be that Saturday, 10 a.m. Man, okay, all right, that's what's up. And on the 18th, later on that evening, they have the music festival. There's a QR code on their Facebook page. I'll log on there if you can scan the code with your phone. You can get a chance to find out what stuff costs and when is it happening. And lastly, if you like what we do, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, listen to us on Spotify, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and follow us on X. If Jody's not going to post, I'll post. And if you want to support us, you can support us via Cash App at #CSRN Toledo 419. PayPal is CSRN 419. Pick up our Black Lives Matter signs, pick up our defund the police signs, and as always, like, share, comment, and what is that? What does it say at the top? Subscribe. All right. I knew you'd get that. Hey, Jody, I think that's all I wanted to cover. I get a chance to get out a little bit early today. Let Yvette know, hey, I'm getting off a little bit early from the podcast. Are they going to stream the event tonight?
I don't know. This will be my first time attending, I believe, because what did they start? I want to say either last month or month before last, and they do it twice a month, again, just like with the TRL room. And then there's another one that's starting up, but that's somewhere really far down in my page. But I know they do it twice a month, so it's the second and third, or the first and third Tuesday of the month. So this is technically the first Tuesday.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. One of the things that we do whenever we're concluding a meeting or podcast, we close out what we call 5 minutes to heat. That's the creative expression. I think we start on a high note, we end on a high note, and 5 minutes to heat is a remix title from a song called 5 Minutes of Funk by Houdini. You can look it up. It's a real song. We flipped it, reversed it, and created 5 minutes of heat. And Jody has been the resident final 5 minutes of heat person for the last 12 years. What do you have for us today?
Before I want to say one last thing, because I did miss one. And as I saw one of my coworkers and good friends in the community, Jasmine Renee, walking by, there is the TLR, not the same room, Area 710 presents it's art, music, poetry, and that is happening this Sunday.
Okay.
The listening room. Sunday from 6 to 11 p.m. starts at 7:30. Sounds by Gary Black Jr., which is also a good friend of mine with the Soul Collective that we have every third Wednesday with Poetry and Soul with Kay Renee. All the stuff. I'm just going to plug everything. But this one is going to be at 710 South Reynolds. There will be live music, drinks, food, unmatched vibe, and security enforced. I don't know about the security, but doors open at 6 p.m. It's going until 2 a.m. So after the open mic, which ends at 11, they'll still have events and stuff like that going on. And in case you haven't seen it, my last feature of the year in Toledo, because I don't believe I can feature anywhere else because I've featured pretty much everywhere else already, is going to be at the SOS Club first Friday. Fish Fry Poetry Night is going to be an all-white affair. Caught myself after I said it like that. But the all-white affair, except for me, but that is going to be featuring Steve James, Lady Lovely, Spoken Truth, and Sunkiss. Is
Okay.
a $10 cover fish fry dinners mocktail. So this is a non-alcoholic location. If you're looking for them, that has been coming up in a lot of things. Like I want to go listen to poetry, but I don't want to be inundated with alcohol or smoke or anything like that. So this is the event for you. 7 to 11 p.m. Doors open at 7 on 8/7. So I have all my books and merchandise and everything like that. So for today's piece, as I woke up after my stuff, and you know, back to the words of Erykah Badu, I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my shit. So when I come back online and I get inundated with like 45, 50 messages of, hey, did you see the flyer? And I'm still getting the Winkle, Rip Van Winkles out my eye. I'm like, So I let my pen do what it did. And this piece is my first piece since last month, because I haven't actually been on my pen game in a minute, which I'm going to get back on that, is called Post Anger Management. Post as in what I was posting. So let's begin. Peace. I feel like going on a full rant of what AI can't do. But honestly, I really just don't have the time. I'm too busy creating, too busy living, too busy enjoying my mental space away from trauma, too busy finding other things to do to make me more prosperous, too busy taking care of the responsibilities I feel proud of and accomplished that I even made them a reality, too busy being real. And I'm not sorry, but I work with people's souls, minds, and hearts in a way that a computer could never, no, never touch. No word prompts, no generated images, no who are these people, because they never lived a real day in a human's life. But we accept it and say it's okay. It's funny to look at. It's creative with the busyness and bubbliness and misshapen faces that come at you like Uncanny Valley or Black Mirror turned to reality. And I know I said I wasn't going to talk about this. But as I spoke this post, I needed to say more because it's not like a calculator or autocorrect or Photoshop. It's literally taking the soul out of your work and turning it into likes and views so you can replace, yes, replace a real connection with compensation, making it look easy so everyone, yes, everyone can do it. But I will die, yes, die on this hill that I built out of all of my mistakes and failures and past to reach where I am at today. If everyone jumped off a cliff, would you? Because I'm finding it extremely hard to fight the algorithm and find real people who don't mind taking a fall or two. Yes, taking a fall or two, as long as they get back up better. Stop complaining about it being hard and just do the work. Because the real reward is knowing that you did it, yes, did it, that you left your mark on history and showed no matter what the adversity is in life, you, yes, you stayed real. In peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. Big shout out to Good Company Christian Counseling. What do we have? Pretty Protection, American Muslims for Palestine, Optical, Twixt in Between, the Junction Coalition, Junction Family Pharmacy, everybody that helps us create this vibe. All right.
All our guests also. I want to give a major shout out to Cecil. He was on the show a couple of weeks ago, and Brother Washington asked him a question of how do you balance the two?
Yeah.
Well, I got to see him balance the two because another shameless plug. I work at the upscale nightclub called Cliche, and he came there and set down a Dirty South mix. I don't know. It was magical.
Oh, he DJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
He actually came and DJ'd at my spot. And I was like, oh, Wait till I get to the show. I'm telling Brother Washington. 'Cause,
Okay.
yeah, that was some Down Dirty South remixing that we haven't had in the nightclub since we opened. It's been that, one song. I'm not even gonna say spend anything
All
more
right.
than that. But
Right.
yeah, you was fire on that set. So I hope to see you come back and do sets with us because that was nice.
All right. And as always, all lives can't matter until
Black
lives
lives
matter.
matter.
And black lives can't matter until
All
all
black lives matter.
Justice or else.
Yeah, yeah.
Peace.